So
that
power booking is again the term of art for basically describing the vehicle in better trim
well,
terms than it has. And
it
this
actually
is
is, yeah.
right. So
I
yeah,
I don't wanna mischaracterize it. This is not an all the time thing, but it does impact those folks who may, the financial institutions that may be lending money on a unit that may not be accurately represented,
give a
right?
good example of a
Sure.
power booking if you don't mind.
You know, is a bank willing to lend more money if a vehicle is worth more? The answer is sure, because their collateral is worth more if something should happen and they need to take back the vehicle. Um, so it's possible that somebody says, "Hey," or just doesn't understand the trim of the vehicle, right? Let's just say it's a benign kind of scenario where they own a vehicle and they believe that the trim is the highest level trim, which has certain packages on it, or the engine is a certain way, but it's not. And as a result, that vehicle has been, theoretically power booked, where you're contending that it is worth more than it actually is because you're not fully understanding the level of that vehicle or the trim of that vehicle or the engine or the options, the optional equipment that may be on that vehicle. Sure, there could be cases of that are nefarious where somebody says, "Listen, it's got a sunroof," and it actually doesn't,
Right,
which is a
right.
$3,000 option. But even under, really basic conditions, it's possible that somebody just doesn't understand the vehicle that they have.
Right. So in a way, what you're saying is in kind of structured finance terms, you're in the LTV, the loan to value ratio. You're juicing up the V so you can
Yes,
so you can obtain a bigger L. Right. You can
correct.
finance more, but very importantly, from a collections or a repo perspective, when you go to uh, when you get your hands on the vehicle because things haven't gone right, that V isn't what you thought it was, and so you're gonna take a much bigger loss, all things being equal, on that vehicle. So this is an important risk factor to be aware, particularly I imagine in the used vehicle
Very
market, right?
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
New vehicles are a little different, but could still happen theoretically. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't heard it so much in the new, but in the used for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but that again, this all makes its way back to not just, not just it has many downstream impacts. And what I mean by that is it makes its way, to the ABS market too, for those folks who are holding these assets on either balance sheet, or, within their instruments, within an ABS itself, within the structured debt. Think about how much collateral must be underpinning an ABS and, the mistakes that may or may not be there. And I think, you alluded to it earlier, the tricolor stuff and some of the other things that have taken place in the ABS world. Um, it all comes down to better understanding the inventory, where it is and who owns it.